This episode of the Flush Podcast is brought to you by North Dakota Tourism. Start planning your fall hunting adventure in North Dakota at legendary.com, and by Onyx Maps, the #1 GPS hunting map. Onyx, know where you stand. The sun has just set on our day in North Dakota's Badlands. We're about to break down an epic upland bird hunting adventure and share the truth about my dog Daisy's very first hunt. Let's just say it'll be one that I will never forget. Welcome to another episode of the Flush Podcast. I'm Travis Frank. I'm your host. Brandon Morton is our producer. I'm not sure where Brandon is right now because I am out on the prairie watching the sunset in the Badlands. Right next to me, sitting outside here, is Rhett Hall. Rhett, we just had one of the best wild bird dinners I have ever had in my entire life. We tried about 5 different recipes. We filmed one of them. Rhett, do you want to explain what we filmed and how you made it?
Yeah. So what we did was sharp-tail tenders with a buffalo berry honey reduction as kind of a sauce for them.
Yeah.
I had never cooked it. I have heard of stuff like that, and so
Yeah.
we figured we'd just give it a try. And I think that of everything that we cooked, it was probably like 2nd or 3rd place out of 5.
Yeah.
Even 5th place is amazing food, you know.
Right.
But,
The competition was incredible.
Really tough.
And actually, it's still ongoing because we're breaking down our meal into 4 courses. Grouse for the first course, grouse for the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. We've got a bunch of different recipes that we're trying out here. And the buffalo berries are actually out of a big patch that we shot the grouse out of. We picked those berries. It was your idea. Brilliant idea. But it's always fun to bring everything full circle, and we're sitting out here right now, and the colors on the horizon are just spectacular. Yeah. And we're sitting here, I've got my bird camp right behind me, the Ice Castle Fish House. It seems to be my favorite place right now. And we're sitting in the Badlands of North Dakota.
Yeah.
I've never hunted here. I would say we are not roughing it because George Lyle brought a shower. I was naked out here not 20 minutes, about 2 hours ago, taking a shower, watching cows, and I feel great.
Wide open spaces.
Wide open spaces,
including
yes.
the shower stall.
Right. We could talk about all of the details. There's a lot to it, but let's just say George brought a shower, and it was wonderful after a couple days that we've been out here now. But, Rhett, you live where?
So I live just north of Dickinson, North Dakota.
Okay.
It's 45 minutes from where we're hunting right now. So, yeah.
You have Iron Point Kennels, and what kind of dogs do you train?
So I am by no means a specialist when it comes to breed. So with dog training, there's people that get really specialized, and they're like, I do pointers.
Mm-hmm.
I like doing everything because then it is just always a constant changing environment, you know. Like right now, I've got a Deutsch Drahthaar. In 2 weeks, we've got 2 Labradoodles getting dropped off.
Okay.
What is the name of that little teeny one? I had a Boykin Spaniel in a little bit ago. I really like
The variety
just because it keeps everything fun. You know, I think it helps you build a lot better training background too, just because, you know, like an issue that you might run in with homeowner's pet type thing is going to be totally different than an issue you're going to run in with Daisy or something like that.
We're going to get into
Daisy.
Crazy Daisy, yes. We're going to get into Daisy's adventure soon, but I want to know more about your background. Where were you from originally?
Okay. So I was born in Vernal, Utah.
Okay.
It's in kind of the northeast corner of Utah. I had since moved. I've lived in every western state except for Washington. I spent 2 years in Brazil, and now
Wow.
I live in.
Why did you move so much?
I built cell phone towers,
Okay.
and so you can only put up so many of those before you just gotta head on to the next spot. So
What brought you to North Dakota?
actually, cell phone towers, and then
Okay.
my wife nailed it down in here. So it
So
kind of.
was she moving with you then?
No, so we had a house in Utah, and I'd be gone for 2 or 3 months at a time, then come home for a week, and then gone for 2 or 3 months at a time and come home for a week.
That's tough.
Yeah, it sucks really bad,
Yeah.
and it kind of got to the point where, like we were talking about earlier, where anytime she brought up having a kid, I'd just buy a dog, and it got to the point where even I wanted to have a kid,
Yeah.
and I didn't want to raise my kid where it was only seeing me every 2 or 3 months, and so we just, at the time I was working up here, and my boss is like, look, you can move up there and stay forever. So
I can relate in some ways on with the kid and the dog and thing. Almost only mine was kind of the other way around because I was on the road so much that I didn't feel it was fair to have the dog. When I was gone for a week or two at a time, then I'm home for a couple of days, and I'm gone again, and so that's something that's changed in my life that has now allowed me to get Daisy.
yeah.
And well, I'm glad you're here. When did you start hunting out here in the Badlands, and what drew you in?
So I have hunted the Badlands. So first, when I came to North Dakota, I was like, oh, pheasant hunting's the best thing ever. And it just got to the point where pheasant hunting was too easy. Like you could go out and get a limit without really breaking a sweat. And I like watching my dogs work. I like running them. And so then I started talking to other people. They're like, well, you try getting some sharptail. I'm like, I do that, no problem. Challenge accepted.
Yep.
And then I came out here and found out that it was not near as easy as pheasant hunting.
Right.
And
That's an understatement.
yeah, like of the century.
Yeah.
So I've been out here chasing birds for probably 5 years, 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
And the reason I do it is just because of the challenge. I mean, it's a lot harder. They're not near as, you're not walking one slough and getting a limit of birds. You're putting on a couple miles to find them. So.
Well, and this is public land too, and there's a whole hell of a lot of it out here. Do you have any idea how many thousands of acres are part of the, let's just say, just the Little Missouri National Grassland itself? Any idea?
Oh, I can't remember. I knew it like, I remember looking it up like last year, but it's substantial.
Yeah. You can drive for over an hour, right, from one end to the other?
Yeah. Even more. Probably an hour and a half, 2 hours. If you went from, the far end down kind of by Amadon all the way up to Watford City. And that's on and off all the Little Missouri grasslands.
And then there's plots land mixed in. There's state land mixed with it.
Yep.
We've been really dissecting this land, looking at the Onyx maps and trying to, verify where we're at as we're walking. By one, looking at the contours of the ground, which is really cool.
Critical.
It's really cool. And actually they launched that 3D on it. So I'm looking at, these insane, what are these formations that the Badlands itself, it's like a clay.
Yeah.
Everything
it's all just clay. The best way I know how it happened is just from erosion, whether it was from wind, which is prevalent out here, or water just from, runoff and streams flowing down into the Little Missouri.
Gotcha.
So.
It's a good mix of insane hill country and grassland, and I understand why you like to hunt out here, but I'm surprised that more people don't. You say you never see anybody else out here?
Yeah, you'll run into a deer hunter every once in a while, or an antelope hunter on the opening weekend of that, but it's just, there's few and far between. You figure we saw 2 trucks come down the road all of today.
Yeah.
So, and they were probably oil filled. So.
Right. Yeah. And so we're camping. We've got the the fish house as the base camp here, and then Aaron Ochtenberg, our cameraman, he's got a tent outside as well. He loves camping in his tent. He's camped all over North America and up to like 30 below. So last night at about 2 a.m. the wind switched and picked up, and I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say it was blowing 40 last night.
Right around there, I'll bet.
Yep, he woke up and said, I just had to check. I actually came out to check on him.
Oh, yeah?
Sure. Yeah, I did just a check to make sure everything was still here. We didn't lose anything. But by being out here, I'm learning, I was, a couple weeks ago, I was on the grasslands in South Dakota.
Yep.
And it was a little bit different. I mean, obviously, just the characteristics of the land out here are just something to behold. I mean, there's a reason families come up here and just drive through it, right? Yeah. It's unbelievable beauty. We'd come over the hill and I found myself stopping all over and over again and just trying to take it. And I probably have 200 photos on my camera from the last 2 days. But we're out here. This is now the third day. When we got here, set up camp, we hunted yesterday and we hunted today. And we're just really kind of absorbing it all, right? We're out in the middle of it. There's nobody else around us. And I'm learning that this camping style of hunting public land is pretty dang sweet. We've stayed at plenty of lodges or hotels, and then you drive to the location. But right now, we're the dogs are resting. Yeah. And at sunrise tomorrow morning, we can just start hunting. We can load the shotguns without ever touching your car keys, and you can go. And you can go and go and go and go and go.
You can walk longer than the day is going to last. That's for sure.
That is for sure. So this is actually Daisy's very first hunt. And Daisy, a few weeks ago, I told the story and had Tyler Webster on this podcast. You can go back and listen to that if you want. But we talked about Daisy's story and Tyler and I's friendship and how this all came to be. But this is a very special moment in my life. Yeah. I had so many different expectations or thoughts or hopes of what it might look like to take my dog hunting on her first hunt. And she's 6 months old.
Yep.
But I've hunted with some of the best dogs in North America. I don't think that's an exaggeration.
Believe it.
Over the years. And so I'm thinking, well, she might need a couple birds, right, under her belt before she starts, figuring out the gig here. But then she's so smart, right? And she's got such a strong prey drive that I'm thinking she's just going to pick up on it and we'll be hunting, Yeah. Holy crap, was I wrong.
I mean, she hunted.
She did.
She hunted her pants off.
She did. So the first morning, you weren't here yet for her initial walk, but we took her out from campsite, and we said, we're going to do, we'll just do a half-mile loop, because we knew what time you were pulling in. And so we took her out, and she did what I thought, which was she was going to go 500-600 yards and make a loop, and then I thought, she's going to come back. And thankfully, we've got the Garmin on her, so I can watch where she goes. The biggest thing was George Lyle and I have been working on obedience training and just so many things with her. I've only had her for 6 weeks, and I've been working with her basically every day that I've been able to, and George has been as well. And he I could tell he laughed inside at my expectations, when I told him what I was hoping or excited for. But he's been there, right? Yeah. You've been there, Rhett, and most people listening right now are probably laughing, saying, "Oh, Travis, you have no idea what it's like the first time you take that dog on a hunt. They run or they don't do anything you think was going to happen," and that's exactly what happened. She made that loop, and then she came in, checked in, and then she made another loop, and I'm watching her, and she's at like 460, and all of a sudden she's at 600, and we're, oh geez, now we're starting to get a little worried here, and then she stopped, and she was just kind of at this same distance, but the e-collar wasn't saying that she was on point, so that meant she was moving, but not a very large distance, and it took a while. But then she came back, and when she did, the white dog was no longer white. She found the what do you call this stuff out here? Clay or
Yeah,
sludge?
clay pan.
Yeah. So she found probably a cool spot and rolled in it until her coat was completely caked, which was clearly very uncomfortable for her because it starts to dry. And you know how when you get clay on you, how it dries your skin, and her fur was just tightened up on her.
Oh, it was like a pottery. It was a yeah.
But it ended up that we started working with her a little bit more and keeping her in, keeping her close, and just really making this whole first walk about her. And I left really encouraged because she was staying in that 100 to 150, maybe 200-yard range, and I'm thinking, all right, yep, now we just need to see a bird. And she did find a couple of birds way out of range for us, and I believe she was the reason that they flushed. But anyway, the first walk, I'm thinking this is pretty good.
Yeah.
She came back, she checked in, and we just, we didn't get any birds, but that was okay. Truthfully, I didn't expect that I would get a bird on the first walk with her. It's, you can hope and pray, but I just thought, we're on this long trip.
Yeah.
We're going from the Badlands, we're heading to Montana next, and I'm thinking over the next 7-8 days, however many we hunt out here, she's going to, slowly pick it up. But I think last night was just a really scary awakening for me.
Yeah. That was really scary.
It was really scary. So we hunt. She took the afternoon off, the late morning and the afternoon off, and we went for one walk at the golden hour, right?
Yeah.
And we went to one of your favorite spots. We're in the center of the grasslands out here, and it's a spot that you've walked before, and you said that you've never walked it without seeing any birds.
Never walked without seeing a bird.
We thought, all right, that's it. We're gonna make the last little walk, and so she got out there, and we flushed a couple of birds. I don't remember exactly. It's kind of a blur there, but all of a sudden, a deer took off, and
Well, so let's first talk about how she got a little bit farther away.
oh yeah,
So the couple of birds flushed, and we had, was it Boone,
Mhm.
right? Boone was on point, and then he got hit by a porcupine.
That's right. Face full.
Yeah.
Face full.
And so while we were pulling quills, that's when she started to get a little
we were
bit too far away.
distracted, and she was able to get further away, and it's almost like she's got this freedom, right? And
Yep.
all of a sudden, we're pulling quills, and she starts barking, and she goes down in this canyon, and we could see her between these trees, and we're like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Can't stop her, because for some reason this is a mistake I learned last night. When we were walking out, George and I, we were working on stopping her.
Yep.
And bringing her back with the e-collar. Stop her, bring her back. And we were having intermittent success on it. And the reason was that she's such a small little dog, and her neck is so small that the pins weren't actually always touching, making contact. And so I remember we were about 200 yards from the truck, and it was saying that we're having this issue. And I said, George, I can just take her back to the truck right now. I'd rather not, have something happen. And he goes, I think we're okay. And he's since told me several times that we shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Because when that dog took off after that deer, that's when all bleep broke loose, right?
Yep.
And he was not able to get that contact. And so we weren't able to stop her. And now she's down in the canyon, and we're watching. She's at 600 yards, 700 yards. She's out there. We're trying to bring her back, just not having great success with it. And so then, all right, we're going towards her. But it was so strange for me to watch her just go almost, how it like spastic or delirious, or the barking, or I thought something was wrong at first.
Yeah. I think when she started chasing that deer, then, she just got so far away that she got lost. And that shook her up. Scared her pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And for me, right away in my mind, I'm thinking, what are you doing, Travis? Why would you bring her out here? And I'm in the back of my mind, I've gone both ways on this because I'm thinking it's wide open grass, right? This is a great place for her to come out and join us. And she's a puppy, and just let her be a puppy and learn. And we're gonna go on the hunt. And I just was instantly pissed at myself for putting her in this position, right? And so she's not coming back. She's not coming back, and she's at 600-ish yards, so we start working towards her, and we're all three, you, me, and George, we're going there, and 400, she all of a sudden she's not moving, and we're calling, and she's not moving, and we're calling, and the canyons are pretty.
Well, it's cat country, which is the scary part, and we had already seen a couple holes where, cats tend to hang out.
And there was no sign of her, and she wasn't moving.
Yeah.
And I'm going down this pretty steep, I don't know what the angle is on it, but it's pretty steep cliff to get down to the bottom because GPS says she's down there. And I'm looking, and I get to the bottom, and I'm not seeing her. I'm not seeing any. And all of a sudden, Boone comes, and George is like, she's at 75 yards, and she's right there. And I'm like, she's not here. She's not here. I'm literally standing here, and I was within probably like 12 yards of her. You were on top looking down.
So I was way up above you, and I could see, you could see Boone plain as day. And we're talking about a white dog against kind of a brown-green background. They pop out really easy.
I was expecting to see her either on point, but then all the thoughts go through my mind. Like you said, we're in cat country. What did she get into? She's, and she's not moving.
Yeah.
She's not, and this is 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I would say that we were looking, and she's not moving. And I get down there, and George is like, she's there. She's right there. It says the GPS says she's right there. And I'm like, I don't see her. I don't see her anywhere. And I move forward a little bit, and I can see this crack in the ground, like just
little washout.
A washout, yep. And it's basically about, I could get 2 legs into it. That's about as wide as it is. I mean, you would walk over it and not think twice. And it was about chest deep.
Yep.
And she was laying down in the bottom of this thing, and I see her, actually Boone pointed her.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why I went up, and George goes, Boone's on something. And I walked over there, and there she is, and I just grabbed her and lifted her right up. And once again, she was covered in that sludge, that dirt. And I don't know did she get lost and scared? Was she overheated from chasing and our inability to stop her? What in the world happened? I set her up, and she didn't move. I put the lead on her. I'm like, you're going to stay right by my side the rest of this walk back. And I tapped, and she didn't move. I said, here, Daisy. Nothing. She just stood there, completely covered in that stuff. And it was like she was as shook up as I was.
It was scary.
It was. And then I think when I walked back to the top, and I said, every interview I do with you guys, you all say the same thing. It's about the dogs. We just love watching the dogs. It's about the dogs. And I'm like, you guys are nuts. There was nothing fun about this at all. And we all had to take just a little bit of time to come back to, calming down. Boone's got the quills out. He's okay. She's okay. Just completely caked in this mud. And you said something, though, at the truck when we got back that has stood with me. But I think it was something along the lines of, if you're not willing to accept this part of the reality of having a hunting dog, then you shouldn't have a hunting dog.
Yeah, if you don't enjoy the process that it takes to get those amazing hunting dogs that you have, you just shouldn't get one. So it is a lot of work and can be incredibly scary, and
Yeah, and I'm thinking, I've spent 6 weeks, every hour that I've not been with my family or my kids or working or on the road, I've been just pouring into her. And I'm thinking, I want to see the fruits pay off. And you and George kind of laughed at me. Like, no, you don't just do something for a couple weeks and then go hunt and she's good. Like, this is a big time commitment.
Yeah, this is not 5-minute abs.
No. So
is-
it really hit home. It really hit home with me. I called my wife and I told her, and she just said, "Well, praise God you found her and that she's okay." And I'm like, oh honey, I wish I could have just thought, that same, just upbeat. But in the moment, it was scary.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the thoughts, I'll tell you some of the thoughts that crossed my mind. Why the hell did I get a dog that runs like this? Why didn't I just get a lab or something that, a dog that likes to stay by my side, that I don't have to constantly work so hard?
Yep.
Um, you ever have any of those thoughts?
Why did I get like a big running dog?
Yeah, or I mean, what
Or
are some of your
or why did I
challenges
get
that
dogs?
Yeah, exactly. Any questions cross your mind when you're working to achieve the success that you've achieved with your dogs?
Yeah. So so I do a lot, like insanely amount of time gets put into the dog, right?
Mm-hmm.
With it walking on a check cord, with doing like getting everything dialed in. And every once in a while you get to the point where you're like, okay, we're gonna take the check cord off. And it is, to this day, it's still the scariest moment ever because you don't know for sure. Like, you're really hoping, but in order for the dog to progress, you kind of just baby step it forward to give it more freedom. And man, there's days that it is just way too stressful. And like, man, if I didn't have dogs, I could, like, I don't know, go fishing, or
Right.
just because they take so much time. And I worry about my dogs like I worry about my kids. Like, they're literally part of the family. I have lost one dog before, and my wife literally said, "Well, don't come home till you find her."
Did you find her?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Good.
It took about 6 hours, but I mean, it was, yeah, just so scary. Like,
It is. Just that pit in my stomach where she's not moving. And she's a long ways from us, and it took a long time to get there, and she never moved that entire time.
Yeah.
And I gave her all the water that I gave her just a lot of water, and I think she just maybe hasn't been in that position to run that hard for that, that, because she's like a lightning bolt.
Oh man,
She doesn't half-ass this. Like,
no,
she's
a little pistol.
she's going, and yeah, so I think she realized, like, holy cow, my body can't do this, and I'm laying down in this cool crevice with the moist clay or whatever to cool me down. So once I gave her water, then she, this energy, all of a sudden she's walking, and then she wanted to lead me, and I said, no, you're not. We're doing this right here. You are staying right here.
Yeah.
And so this adventure, of course, is, to add to this stress, there's a video camera following everything I'm doing, right?
Yep.
And that's something that has been weighing on me for many years, hosting this show, the travel that I've done, my life up to this point to get a dog, and now saying, oh, great, now everything I do is going to be videotaped too on top of it. And so we're going to show the reality of that hunt, of this adventure. And I think that I think it's the reality for every hunter, right?
So I think that it's okay. So I just had a litter of puppies.
Mm-hmm.
We ended
Congratulations, by the way,
up.
Dad.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We ended up losing 10 of them.
No.
But when you talk, like, I've talked to all sorts of different breeders, nobody ever says anything. So I think you being able to show this, like, the struggle that, I mean, it just flat out sucked yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, with Daisy trying to figure out where she went, what happened, why did it happen? Like, so I think it will be really helpful for a lot of people for them to see what can go wrong, what can happen.
Yeah, and we went right back to the basics too again. Yep.
Yeah.
Check cord, you're staying here, we're going over, doing a lot of this stuff. And I'm not an expert and never claim to be. I'm a student and I'm out here learning, and you're a great teacher. George Lyle is a great teacher. He's taken me under his wing years ago. I mean, I've hunted with his dogs, and they're phenomenal dogs. And I've taken his advice, other people's advice, and I'm learning, right? And I'm open to sharing it. But I do want to get into this place and what we were able to find, because this wasn't all about Miss Daisy running the show. So we'll get into the bird numbers. But first, I want to remind you that, well, the bird numbers in North Dakota are on the rise. Their annual roadside counts for this year are in. And, well, hunting season is here, so hunters are about to find out all of these stats for themselves. But pheasants observed per 100 miles are up 38%. Sharptails are up 54%. We're about to tell you more about that. And Hungarian partridge are up 45%. And with an estimated 4 million breeding ducks, up 18% this year, North Dakota's central region is prime habitat for both hunting waterfowl and upland birds. Plus, North Dakota has more than 700,000 acres of private land open to public walk-in hunting. For the latest plots guide, visit the North Dakota Game and Fish Department or legendary ND.com. We have been using, Rhett, Onyx Maps. Basically,
major tool.
It's such a major tool. They just launched their 3D maps out here, and in the Badlands, it's really, really helpful because of all the contour changes.
Yeah.
And we're able to see a lot of the features and find out where these birds are holding. It took us a little bit of time out here, but we're able to really develop a pattern, and then you can basically zoom out as you're standing in the field, right?
Yep.
And basically today what we did was we just looked ahead and we said, okay, there should be more here, 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 and here. And it also said that's all land that we can hunt.
Yeah.
And that's such an incredible tool. How long have you been using Onyx Maps, you know?
Because I think they started with just the chip before they even had the.
So you've been using it
right?
a long time. I'm not entirely sure about that. You could be right on it. I don't know for certain, but I've been using them ever since they went to the cell phone.
Yeah, I mean, I've got the chip in my GPS. You
Yeah.
know? I mean, I've used it a long time. It's the only way that you can know for sure out here, just because it's so checkerboarded with public and private.
Yep.
You know, because I mean, trespassing's a big deal out here. You know,
Everywhere.
Yeah.
And we're as hunters, we owe it to landowners, private landowners, to, if you're going to go on their land, they need to know you're out there.
Yeah,
you need to ask permission. And I look at, this is a place I've never been before, and we're dropping pins, and I probably got like 50 pins that I dropped just in the last day and a half, because I'm trying to put together the pieces. I mean,
yeah.
Essentially, you've been hunting out here for a few years, but you don't hunt the same place twice, right?
No.
I mean, we went last night to a place that you've never gone and not seen birds, and it's kind of one of those beautiful walks, right?
Yeah.
But beyond that, why? I guess
the only time I ever come back to a spot is when I have someone coming with me.
Yeah,
like,
that makes sense.
When you show up, I'm like, okay, we probably should not waste a 12-mile walk to see a bird flush 500 yards in front of us.
Yeah.
You know, so you come to some place where you're like, hey, we should run into them here, you know.
Yesterday before, so little Miss Daisy went on her first walk, right? And then we got, into some area that you were really excited to hunt. And what happened?
Wild birds happen.
Wild birds, exactly.
Like, because I mean, I was out here a week before just with my wife and kids, just to be like, okay, it was good last year. Let's guarantee that the birds are still hanging out where they generally are. And they were. It was great. And then we got out here
yesterday
and went on a death march, and I think we saw 2 birds.
Well, there was that one.
There
was the one covey.
Yeah, the one covey.
I didn't actually get to see it. I was on the wrong side of a cliff.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I hear, and I'm just thinking to myself, I'm going to hear gunshots any second because I'm so far down in the bottom of this side hill. And I was on I don't know if it was, you guys have sheep, bighorn sheep?
Yep, bighorn sheep.
And I feel like I was just on one of, like when you see sheep on National Geographic on their walking on that side hill and there's this little trail.
Yep.
That's what I was on. And all of a sudden I hear shots fired from on top. And I'm like, what was it? I was just thinking to myself, I'm going to hear shots any second. I got to get off of this goat trail. And Sure enough. So I didn't even get to see them. But I mean, your expectations yesterday were, you would say, probably a little bit higher than what we ran into, weren't they?
I was expecting to have, I mean, maybe not a full 3-man limit by lunchtime, but I was expecting more than just, hey, there were some birds in front of us.
Yeah, the weather was good. The wind wasn't blowing too much. But, we talked about, should we go somewhere else? Should we, what should we do? But I think, we just said we're not abandoning a spot just because the birds were, we didn't see what we were anticipating. We just moved over.
We needed to adjust just slightly, and that made a lot of difference from yesterday to today.
Today, I felt like we couldn't go 300 yards without bumping a covey of birds or, flushing birds. I mean, it was like if you draw up one of the coolest adventure bird hunts you can go on, that was today.
Yeah, it was perfect.
It was. The only thing that wasn't perfect was the wind.
It started off a little rough.
Yeah.
It was like 20-ish sustained, and I think gusting, I mean, like you said, about 30, 40.
Yeah, so. And I think, just the birds, we pulled up to an area that we were going to start walking, and, we were looking at the way the hills worked and everything, and it made sense, right? And so we're getting ready, and a covey sets down just perfectly on this hill, about, 300 yards ahead of us.
Give or take.
And it was probably 15 birds in it. We're like, we didn't see this all day yesterday. We haven't even taken one step yet, and there's already birds in sight. And so we get up to the top of this hill, and they're not there.
Yeah.
Instead, they ran probably 150 yards ahead and flushed wild. And and
some of them were sitting up in the top of the buffalo berry bushes, just like eyeballing us as we came across that hill.
That's right. Yep. Aaron goes, the cameraman goes, right in front of you, Travis. And I go, what? And I'm looking, I'm trying to find him in the sky. And I go, where? And he goes, in the trees. And they all took off, and they were laughing at us. But the thing was, the wind just made them, and I can't imagine they've been hunted, right?
Not likely.
I don't think so, but the one thing I've learned, and I suppose somebody could say opposite, but it seems like when it's just really, really windy like that, they're so skittish, right? Is that what you find out here?
I think it doesn't help you by any means. I think because they can't hear it near as well, just because everything's moving, and so I think that puts them on edge,
Yeah.
Whether you're getting snuck up by coyote or hunter, I mean,
wow.
They just get worried.
We saw, I want to guess, 150 birds before we bagged one today.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot, considering we saw maybe a dozen yesterday, and this was all before lunchtime.
Yeah.
And so this place really showed the potential today. And we ended up getting, let's see, George got 3.
Yeah, George limited it out.
Yeah, he unloaded his gun and strutted like a peacock out there.
Yeah.
Doesn't he just, I mean...
He gets a little bit showboaty when he's the only one that gets a limit,
We did ride him pretty hard because, so last year his dogs got bit. One of his dogs got bit by a snake out in South Dakota. And so it was a little warmer yesterday afternoon, and George likes to wear collared shirts. And so he had this really nice, almost whitish colored shirt. It was a very
pinstripe shirt.
Yeah, it looked real nice. And then he had dark pants, and then he put his snake gaiters on, and they're light. And then he put his vest on with the straps on it. And I look over as he's getting ready by the truck. I couldn't help myself. I go, are you getting ready for Oktoberfest? Because it looked like lighter Husen.
Yeah, Leader Husen.
So then you and I are laughing, and the cameraman's laughing, and he's like, what are you talking about, guys? And I took a picture, and I showed it to him, but I couldn't stop laughing. So he definitely showed us up today.
Yeah.
And that's the fun about George and I when we've hunted together for many years, and just the fun that friends have. But, He's a good shot, and he got he got his limit today.
Yeah.
You get one?
I got one.
I got one too.
One long shot.
I got one too, and it was one of those shots that might be my best of the entire year. I we we got a bird, and this was after things. I mean, we put on I think 6 miles, roughly.
Today?
Yeah.
It was just over 6.
Was it? Okay. So this is 5 miles into it now, and we finally the wind starts to lie down, and the birds start doing what you kind of want, right? They start holding, and the last half hour of the day was by far the best half hour of the day. We bagged 4 birds, something like that.
Yeah.
And we didn't get a limit, which is fine. But we got enough for the meal we just had, which was incredible.
Oh, yeah.
The shot that I got was I come over the top of, and every time you come over the top of the next hill, you just see all this potential ahead, and you're like, oh gosh. And Boone comes running, right to left, and just does a complete 90 and goes boom, puts the brakes on. I go, George, and we both saw it at the same time, and we head right towards it, and the 2 birds get up right off of his nose, and I pull up and I take a shot because I wasn't gonna not take it, but it was like 70 yards, and the bird just went down, and I thought,
It only takes one pellet.
yeah, exactly. And he went, grabbed the bird, and just brought it right back, set it down in my hand, and then, because he doesn't give a crap. He's like, yeah, okay, whatever, don't rub me or anything. I'm going to the next one.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, that was picture perfect. Picture perfect. I'm on top of this massive flat of grass on the sides. It's just like when you get these type of moments, 5 miles into our journey, 150 to 200 birds that got away from us, and then it just started to like click.
Yeah, everything just started to fall into place.
Yep. And so we ended on a high note. We came back. We made this meal out here, and we brought it all full circle, right?
Yeah.
This is one of those adventures where anybody can do.
Yep.
How late into the season do you hunt out here?
I think the last day is like January 6th.
Okay. Do you hunt it that late?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
I love coming out here with like snowshoes or cross-country skis.
Really?
I can guarantee you're the only one out here then.
I believe you.
Like,
I absolutely.
Right now, it's probable. In December, it's guaranteed.
So the ground here, it's all the same. It's got that like, I mean, it's dust right now. We haven't had, I don't know, when's the last time you guys have had rain out here?
It's been a long time.
It shows. And it's dry and dusty. But I imagine it turns into some kind of like soupy, like.
By December, it's totally frozen and
I
does not
suppose.
matter.
Yeah, I suppose. Okay. I was thinking, do you get into some pretty nasty drifts, and does it get tough to travel out here?
Yeah. Well, so like that 2-track we went down.
That's not
accessible.
Yeah.
Like you could bring a snowmobile out and get down it, but.
Can you bring snowmobiles out here?
As long as don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure as long as you just stay on the roads, like 2 tracks and stuff like that, you're just fine.
Okay.
I would assume as long as it's snow, like if you're not driving across massive patches of grassland, you'd be able to just drive in the snow. Because, I mean, it's public land.
Yep.
Anybody can.
We talked about, the bird numbers in North Dakota this year being just
great,
incredible, right?
Yeah.
This is essentially the first week of the pheasant season up here.
Yeah, pheasant openers this weekend.
Yeah, and so this podcast, as we're recording it, I mean, we're out in the prairie. There's zero internet out here.
Yeah.
So I can't say that we're recording it and you're listening to it the same day. We're gonna get this on as soon as we possibly can, as soon as I find internet. But essentially, between now and that time, pheasant opener will happen.
Yep.
And what's your expectation?
Limits.
Yeah.
It's always my expectation.
Yeah.
But yeah.
They come a lot easier than
they come a
sharp tails.
heck of a lot easier than sharp tail limits. That's for sure.
Are you seeing, compared to last year, the numbers are up, but how good do you think it's going to be this year?
So they do a lot of crow counts with like the mail carriers, right?
Yep.
Those are generally fairly good. I think farmers, when they're harvesting, know a heck of a lot more just because they're actually pushing the birds and seeing them. That's how I get my rough bird numbers. And the one farmer that I talked to said that he has never seen as many partridge this year as he has since like the 80s.
Really?
I mean, partridge are rocking and rolling this year.
They're my favorite bird.
Me too.
Really?
Oh yeah.
God, I mean, there's something about the covey and the way the way they'll hold for the dog, and
Yep.
some of the places they live. I talk about those birds all the time on this show, and I'm going to be chasing them very soon.
You can come back anytime you want.
I'm gonna. Well, we're taking this bird camp a little further west, and we're gonna be going into Montana next, and we will probably have more stories from Montana. But this one right here has been something I've wanted to do for many, many years. I'm glad we were able to make it happen. I appreciate you taking the time to join us out here and just tag along, laugh at me, remind me what I need to hear about patience.
Yeah.
And I think you said that you think Daisy's got a lot of potential.
Daisy is going to be a rock star.
Yeah.
In 6 months.
In 6 months. That's the killer right there. It's hunting season right now.
Yeah, but this is the fun part.
Well, that wasn't fun last night.
Well, that sucked. That was horrible last night.
Yep.
But what I'm saying is knowing what you need to do from here forward, just have fun with it.
Yeah, I'm trying. I don't know what I need to do yet. I'm learning as I go. And most of the time when you learn, what's the best way to learn?
From other people's mistakes.
Yeah, but I'm learning from my mistakes as well.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you learned last night, run Daisy alone so that you can just focus on her, right? Don't worry about pulling, 100 porcupine quills out of a dog's face,
Yeah. This is a real Wild West hunt out here, and most people that do public land hunts experience a lot of these types of things. We try to show that.
Yeah.
This show is going to show that. We also had some high five moments on this hunt, and we enjoyed bringing it all full circle here at camp. And I think that's hopefully what people can relate to.
Yeah.
And hopefully maybe it inspires somebody to say, I got to try that Badlands hunt. And I'll tell you, Rhett, every time we go somewhere, every time shows hit the air, people will reach out and they say, hey, was it as good as that looked? And I say, it's real, man.
Yeah.
It's exactly what we experienced out there. What's your thought with having a video camera follow your every move?
It's awkward.
Isn't it?
It's very, very awkward. So a lot of the times I hunt alone.
Yep.
And so I talk to myself, I talk to the dogs. And all of a sudden, I've got this microphone right here. I'm like, ugh. I would catch myself a lot of times being like, oh, man, look at that little oh, I better shut up. Never mind. Aaron can hear me.
Yes. And so can a national audience right now, too. Yeah.
So
that happens. Well, I wish you a very safe and successful rest of your bird hunting season. I mean, it's phenomenal out here right now. We're sitting out here, and it's not windy.
No,
we're
this
recording.
Is like state holiday
we're
weather
outside
right here.
In North Dakota. You don't hear any wind.
Yeah,
because there isn't any.
Nope.
There's birds out here to be had. There's a lot of land available and a lot of hunting season left. So we hope that you feel inspired to get out and maybe try hunting somewhere that you've never hunted before. Once again, I want to remind you that our episodes are airing right now on the Outdoor Channel. You can catch a new episode of The Flush on the Outdoor Channel every week until the end of December. The show airs Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. And as for the Flush podcast, I alluded earlier that we are on the road. We're heading even further west. This bird hunting escapade heads to Montana next. We will get you caught up from Montana. We've got a trifecta of birds, and I continue to hear just unbelievable bird counts from so many people. We're going to try to do as many of these podcasts from the prairie live out here in the field because it feels right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Rhett, thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Anytime.
We'll be back next week with another episode of the Flush Podcast. I want to thank North Dakota Tourism for helping us to make this show possible. To bag your limit this fall in North Dakota, visit legendarynd.com. And don't forget to download the Onyx map to help you plan your hunting adventures and find those pieces of property that are open to the public and full of wild birds.